What's up everyone, Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. Now, since I've reviewed the JLB Cheetah, the upgraded edition and the VKAR Bison, I've been getting a lot of questions as to which one I prefer or which one I would buy and recommend. Now, I'll start off with the original Cheetah. This piece of kit is fantastic. I absolutely gave it hell with no issues at all. It is a fantastic car, especially for the price you can get these for. They're well built, they go very hard, the ESC and the motor combo is fantastic. Comes with a 3S LiPo battery from standard. You can't really go wrong. Now this Cheetah comes with a 2500 kV brushless 4-pole motor, 80 amp ESC which is waterproof, a receiver and a metal geared servo. And this whole combination is the same as the upgraded one, which I'll show you soon. So the original Cheetah only has one wheelie bar, as you can see here, and it doesn't have a rear wing as well. Just something to keep in mind. Now, I didn't have many negatives to say about this car. The only gripes I would have would be the tyres. They didn't grip very well, especially on really loose dirt. On grass and similar terrain like that, they work really well, but apart from that, no, they don't really grip that well. But at least it's an easy thing to replace, so you can just buy what you like Badlands or something, swap them off and you're good to go. The only other gripe I had was this style of nut there. It's kind of like a specifically made for this kit. It's not like a generic 17mm nut, so I would like to get rid of these and change it, because every now and then, even if I did them tight, I'd want to come loose. I'm not too sure if that's because of the actual weight of the nut itself, but yeah. Those two things were the only issues I've had, or albeit small, the only negative things I have to say about it. Now I'll show you some footage to back up what I was just saying to you guys in case you haven't seen it, so watch the footage and let me know what you guys think. So far, the durability's holding up, that's for sure. And definitely has heaps of punch. It is very controllable in the air though. Does fly very nice in the air and is very controllable, just the tyres need to be changed. Yeah, on tarmac it goes very well. This is one problem I've seen before. It looks like it's broken, but it's pretty much just twisted around. So you just pop it back like that and it is ready to go. That's pretty cool. And yeah, so this arm just pretty much twisted all the way around there, but just get back and it's ready to rock and roll again. Now, I hope you guys like that footage of the original Cheetah. It is awesome, and if you did buy that car, you wouldn't be disappointed. Anyway, let's continue with the Cheetahs. This is the upgraded model, the JLB 21101. It doesn't say Cheetah in the original name, but it is a Cheetah just with some upgraded parts. And some of those parts are what I just said on the original one, which were my only gripes. The tyres, and wheels have been changed. The tyres are much better. They have all-round grip. They perform really well on the soft dirt now, and I do believe it actually helps with the braking on grass. It brakes so much better. The car will flip over if you brake too hard, and I think that is to do obviously with the tread pattern, but I think they are lighter in general as well. And as you can see, it also has generic style nut there, so no issues, and the wheels have never come off or anything like that. Now the platform in the new JLB is all the same as the original. It does have a 2500 kV brushless 4-pole motor, same 80 amp ESC, same receiver, and same metal geared steering servo. Pretty much this whole design, apart from the tyres and wheels, and I did have a wing and a wheelie bar, is all that's different on this upgraded model. And like the original, the good thing about these kits, it does come with a 4000 milliamp 3S hardcase LiPo, so that's really good, especially for an RTR kit. And like I said before, this kit does come with a wing, but I annihilated it. It does sit up around about there, looks very nice, but it just snapped off with albeit a pretty hard rollover. And here is the actual wheelie bar unit and the light assembly, which kind of sat up here, but in a separate incident I took it off, but in the video I'll show you soon of how I actually done that. Now, gripes of this kit, to be honest, there are hardly any. So breaking those plastic parts is no big deal, considering how I was driving it. I was expecting something to break, and you don't need them to continue driving. Everything else, the suspension, the wishbones, the arms, everything held up as it should. Now the great thing about these cheetahs, the old and the new, all this suspension system is nice and beefy. It comes with nice boots here to protect the shocks itself. Everything's aluminium and anodized, looks nice. You can't really go wrong. And I know I keep saying it, but for the price, there's nothing really that can match it. Okay, so like the original one, I'll show you some of the footage of this puppy for you to decide which one you prefer. But they're both very close, and going alone on just the tyres, I would pick this one over the old one. And the speed is very similar to the original JLB. Same ESC, so it should be. There's no reason why it should be faster. It's got the same gearing as well, I think, but and like you can see there, I'm no pro driver, but they do fly very well in the air, and the tyres do change direction very easily. Look at that. Put some wings on that and it'll take off. Look at that, dab the brake and it just settles itself back down. Very nice. Boom. Another go. Whoop. It just keeps going and going. Here we go. This is a good example of why these are good. Now you see here, you think, oh, something's gone wrong, how the wheels are twisted, but if you just kind of pop it back, like magic, it's good to go. That's awesome. Oop. That was a pretty big hit, guys. You saw that right on the rear end there. And our second victim for the day is the wheelie bar and the light fixture. So there we go. You know I thrash these cars, I want to see what they can take. So it's like similar to the Bison, just ripped it right out of the rear. Okay, I hope you like that footage of the JLB 21101. It's an awesome kit as well. Now, last but not least, the awesome VKAR Bison. Now, this has been getting a few attention on the internet. I've seen a lot more videos of coming out, thrashing videos and stuff like that. And this thing is a fantastic competitor to the Cheetahs. Now, going by the look alone, I prefer how the Bison looks. It looks very E-Revo-ish, very low slung, and it does look very nice. Now when you take off the shell, you notice some difference straight away. Albeit small, like this dust protector here is a nice touch. Now the Bison also includes a larger 2650 kV brushless motor, along with a larger waterproof 120 amp ESC. Similar spec metal geared servo, same receiver, but the big thing here is 120 amp ESC, up 40 from the Cheetahs. So you notice that the layout is similar to the JLBs. All the motor, ESC, receiver and servo is located on this one side and the battery sits on the other. You also do get 11.1 volt LiPo battery, hard case as well. In this case it's a 3,500 milliamp hour, 500 less than the JLBs. The one thing that is very similar is all the suspension and the actual shock towers. I'm pretty sure that is exactly the same. There is pretty much no difference at all. Same anodized, same aluminium, same shock boots and stuff like that. Same progressive springs. Yeah, they look like a direct copy. You'll notice underneath is completely different as well. The JLB is just a flat aluminium style plate. There's a JLB, it's just a nice flat, pretty thick aluminium piece. Very strong. Well, this is kind of more like a modular design. Nothing wrong with that either. It's easy to work on as well. It's just a different style of chassis. No bad things to say about it really, it's just whatever you like. One thing I do like about the Bison over the JLBs, it seems like it's machined or put together a bit better. That's just my opinion, but from when I look at it closely, it just looks like it's put together better. That's basically it. Now the Bison does have a nice thick rear wing, and I did hit it as hard as I did with the 21101 and the wing didn't break. So that's a tick here for the Bison. The wheelie bar broke, you'll see that in the video, and that's just a pretty poor design because it's just held on by these two thin plastic pieces that won't take anything to snap off, and that's what happened. It both includes front and rear LED lights as well with the latest model JLB. Now, if I had any bad things to say about it, it would just be this traditional style nut here. It's not like the 17mm ones you get on the JLBs, but that's just a small thing. They haven't come out and done. No issues with them at all, but that's pretty much it. I gave this thing hell as well, and apart from the wheelie bar, that's all that broke. So now I'll get some footage when I was thrashing this Bison around and let me know what you guys think. That was a good hit. As you guys know, I'm pretty rough on these cars. I want to give it a good hit, see if they are any good, save you guys wasting your money. But so far, for the value for money, these Bisons and the Cheetahs, they're fantastic. They're very controllable in the air. That's what I've noticed about this. Is very nice. Give another hit. Straight towards me. Well, there's the first accident of the day. Wheelie bar pretty much just snapped off at the points there. So there you go, that's a first weak point, but I did give it a bit of a hit for that to break, but apart from that it's still drivable, so let's hit it. These are pretty big hits, guys. Here's a full speed pass. Very nice. Brakes performing well. Everything seems to be performing well apart from the wheelie bar. It's kind of hard to justify how far it's jumping on camera. I've got my other camera down there to hopefully so I can pick it up. So as you just saw, the Bison took it like a champ, and the way I've been driving these, I don't necessarily always drive like that. I just like to thrash them and get some pretty good air and hard landings to see if the plastic is any good, if the truck is actually durable as they state. And yeah, so far all of them has been pretty durable, apart from some superficial stuff like the wind braking on the JLB and the wheelie bars. That stuff doesn't really matter to me. It's more about the whole car itself, like the drivetrain, the transmission, the motor and and the ESC, stuff like that. I want to make sure that performs as it should. Now, one thing to note, they all have a top speed roughly about 80 to 90 kilometers an hour on 4S, because the ESCs can take 2S to 4S on the Cheetahs and the VKAR Bison as well. So if you crank it all the way up to 4S, you'll probably get around 85 kilometers an hour, which is pretty impressive. Now, I could only get around about 70, 75 kilometers an hour because I was just running a standard 3S battery, but that's still more than enough for me and for where I drive them. Now, another question I get a lot is, where can you get parts from? Now, parts availability for the Cheetahs are much easier to come by. You can get them from Banggood or Gearbest, stuff like that. The parts for the old one will fit the new one, so if you want to put these new tyres on the old one, you can. Simple and easy swap. So parts availability is much easier for these ones, but hopefully with the Bison getting traction, it should become more available in more places. Now, parts availability for the Bison is a little bit more sketchy, as it's just kind of new. I say that because I've just saw it on Gearbest and Banggood. The parts are a little bit harder to come by. But my good friend Tony from CCX RC found out that the Helion Truggy, I think it is exactly the same bar the electronics. So if you need parts, you can always use that truck as well. But I'll leave his video in the description down below, and also leave his channel. Go check it out. It's awesome. Now, the all-important question, which one would I prefer, or which one would I buy if I had a choice? They're all awesome cars. They're all in a similar price bracket. The performance is very similar, and they all are durable. But for me, it'll be the VKAR Bison. Not just because I think it looks better, but I do like the ESC and the motor combo a little bit better. It is a 2650 kV motor with 120 amp ESC, so it's a bit bigger than the JLBs. Now, also, I do like how the power is delivered from the ESC to the motor with this one. It's kind of more linear. With the JLBs, it's much more aggressive. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's just what I've noticed after driving all three, that I do prefer how this one is actually set out from the factory. I'm not too sure if they can be programmed. That'll be interesting to see. If they are, you could easily fix that power curve and set it however you want. Also, I like the A-arms or the wishbones on the VKAR Bison a bit better. They seem a bit more chunky, and I never had that issue of the whole thing twisting under excessive force, or if I hit something a bit too hard like I did with the JLBs. But that's just a minor thing. It shouldn't really sway your decision, but yeah, it's just something that I noticed. But regardless of whatever you choose, you would have no problems with any of them. Like I said, they're all awesome, man. For the price that you get these bad boys from, you can't really complain. They come with the radio. They come ready to run, which includes the LiPo charger, 2S to 3S capable, and they also come with the 3S LiPo hard case. All of them do, so that's excellent. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Which one would you prefer? And if you like the video, let me know. Appreciate your comments and support. Thanks, guys. Steve here again from RC Tanks and Trucks 24/7. Hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to see you next time.